Okay, so we just saw Diary of a Wimpy Kid 2.
No, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rodrick rules.
Greg.
Did you drink all the soda?
Rowley.
This is what happens when we go to sleep. I'm never going to sleep ever again.
Fregley. Sharag. Patty.
Don't make me beat you up again.
Manny. Holly.
Hi, Fregley. Stick some, Fregley.
It's gotta hurt. And Rodrick. Get in. In a whole new chapter of the wimpiest saga of all time.
I'm the ladies.
It's about time, little bro, that you learn the secrets to an easy life. Number 1, always lower mom and dad's expectations.
I took a math test today, and I'm pretty sure I flunked it.
Oh, Greg.
But look, I got a C-.
At least you didn't fail.
So, not the average movie I would like to go see, but you were pretty excited.
I loved the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I thought it was so good. And I thought this one was just as good as the first one, I think, but it seemed a lot longer and a lot more morally, you know? Like,
yeah.
It was all about
You
brothers.
thought it was as good as the first one?
Yeah. I thought it had some pretty funny moments in it, like the first one did.
You know, in this movie, I don't find like a lot of this stuff humorous. It's like the witty stuff they do in this movie that I find funny. Like at the end, just for instance, like when he's talking to the camera and then the brother like looks in the camera and he's like checking himself out, like he'd be checking himself out in the mirror, you know? Or like when the old ladies like attacked him and then he had that like face.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when he realized he was in his underwear.
Yeah, in the mirror, and he's like, what? Yeah, I thought it had some really funny moments in it, and I was glad that they paid tribute to the first one, like at the very beginning when you see Rowley and all the kids in the theater were like, that's Rowley! And then he says the Zooey Mama joke right away.
Yeah.
You know, that wouldn't have fit anywhere else in there. So you don't think it was as good as the first one?
I think it was like, I thought it was a good movie, but like not as good as the first one.
So what did you like about the first one that you didn't,
I'm just saying, like, this one, like, the first one was good, and the second one was just like, they followed the same formula as the first one. I
thought it followed a slightly different formula than the first one.
Yeah, but it's like the same old humor. I guess that's what makes it good, I suppose.
Yeah, because I thought the first one was so funny. And I guess I have to say the reason I like this movie and I like the first one is because I just like good kid movies that are good, funny kid movies. You know, like to me, movies like Sandlot and stuff are just timeless. You know, just timeless movies. And I think this one is. And when I saw it, the first one, I was like, yeah, that's hilarious. It's a kid movie that...
So you're saying Diary of a Wimpy Kid is up to par with Sandlot?
I'd have to say that. But I thought this one was quite a bit longer. And I mean,
it did get a tad bit boring at some parts.
It did start to get boring.
And the cheese was on there. And
it was way more cheesy than the first one. And
yeah,
also,
the whole brotherly love
yeah,
thing.
and the mom, and it was too much cheese. The first one, I mean, you thought there was a lot of cheese with the cheese touch, but there was cheese core. But I thought it still had its same humor. It was a little long, a little too cheesy.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked that the brothers were kind of getting along in that way that like brothers would. Yeah. I think the older brother's just a little too old for that role.
Yeah.
And I thought that in the first movie.
You know what bugged me? Was the fact that that they never finished out the Gupta story. Like he just like gets punked in the art room, and then they like that was that. That's the end of that joke. Like, what was the whole point?
You're right. I didn't
of
even
writing in that little subplot. Like, what was the point of the Gupta plot?
Well, Gupta had a plot in the first movie too that was like just he was the information giver, which he was in the beginning, which I liked. But I would definitely say that you should go see this movie whether you have kids or not, because it's just a good movie. It's just a good movie.
Yeah, it's funny.
I enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite movies we've seen out of most of our After the Movies items.
Yeah, that is sad.
It shouldn't be sad though, because just because it's a kids movie doesn't mean that it's any better or worse than any other movie, you know?
Yeah.
So, I enjoyed it. I laughed. I thought it was really funny and really cute.
Yeah, I didn't have any expectations of this movie, and I thought it was good.
Alright, so we say, see this movie. Take your kids to see it.
Or not, so that I don't have to have them kicking my fucking chair during the whole movie.
Yeah, or being like talking. I love how kids whisper in the theater, but they talk really loud. They're like, hey, hey.
Hey, you remember that one time they put the cookie in the Xbox 360?